Hello and welcome to F.Y.I. Live. I am very excited today. It is Wednesday, 4 o'clock, and as promised, I have the one, the only, the amazing magician, Mr. Stephen Wood in the house. So give it up for him. If you're currently joining us, please make sure you're sharing out this stream. We've got lots to talk about, and we've got a lot of great surprises for you. Stephen, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while, buddy, but it's always great picking up where we leave off. So.
Thanks, Carlos. Yeah, I got to tell you, I've done a couple of interviews like this, and you have the best funky music for an intro of everybody. I really like it, man.
Great, man.
Yeah, it's just,
yeah, and I saw that too. And I almost flipped the switch so they could see you dancing too.
Hey, why not, man? Let's do it. Let's do it. I have no shame to my game. Thank you. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, man. This is really cool that you're doing this.
No, really cool. I'm blessed that you wanted to come on the show as well, and because people have not seen or heard what you're all about, and I've seen you several times, dude. I've seen you right in front of me do things that are just crazy wild, man. To this day, I have no clue how you did that. You know.
Well, you know, that's what my job is. My job is to do crazy wild things with magic. Now, other crazy wild things, that's from when I was a teen. But when it comes to magic, it's crazy wild things. It's it's shown. Did you know that magic has changed in the last 2.5 months?
No, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the entertainment aspect of this too. How has all of this affected you, and how you've been doing with all this?
Well, so entertainment has changed in the last 2.5 months, but so has magic. For instance, you can think about this. When people don't go out to movies right now, we get to do it all on Netflix or what have you. So when it comes to doing magic, which is in its essence an art form or an entertainment that has to entertain with people, I've had to shift to an internet, to doing it on internet, to doing virtual shows. So there are a lot of challenges. For instance, one of the challenges is when I perform, I have to not just perform here, but I have to get through that camera right to you. And if I cannot get through the camera right to you, then it's not going to be a personal performance. You've seen me at a table 2 feet in front of your face. Well, now I have to not just do that. I have to perform through the camera to bring people in. I've done shows on Zoom for close to 300 people. And to do that, I have to perform for each person at their camera. So it's a completely different beast. On top of that, what a lot of people don't realize is for live entertainers, when you're in a room with 300 people, when you're in a room with 10 people, you get the energy back from those people to help you perform. But when I'm working virtually, what I have in front of me to give me energy back is a piece of wood covered by felt, and pretty much nothing else. So I have to lift my energy up about 6 or 7 times. It's kind of like if you've ever heard somebody on the radio, or even what you do for these kind of interviews. You're live, but to have your energy project through, you've got to bring your energy up. Now imagine doing that for an hour or an hour and a half show. That's what it's like. Now, and then on top of that, you can go one step further than that. There are magicians who don't think doing virtual shows are real magic shows. So they're sitting at home going, I'm not going to make money by doing this. No. But I could not do that. I was not going to sit and wait for unemployment to come. I wasn't going to sit and wait for anything else. I had to make sure that I was honestly making money doing my craft. So there are a lot of things that go on within the professional entertainment field. I mean, the people you see giving free shows away on TV, these are the guys who have already made their money, and they can afford to do that. Me, I work what I call show to mouth. In other words, I've got to make a certain amount of money every month. So I'm not doing stuff like they're doing on ABC and CBS because I don't have that kind of money. I'm just like everybody out there trying to make a living. Right. So I had to shift. I had to.
Yeah. And also, folks, if you're just joining us, thanks for joining us. I also have Steven's information, as you can see, scrolling down there. Visit his website at magicandbeyond.com, or you can call his phone number there to book some amazing shows. Like he's explaining a little bit to it, and I can't wait to really see this on a virtual environment. Because you're right, other than TV, and you see Copperfield and all these guys doing their thing, right? This is more. I think it's more of a personal level, and it's more this one-to-one. Where you're actually literally here with us, in this virtual environment.
It goes a little bit farther than that. And I'm going to tell you about stuff that I do that I'm not going to do for you. Why? Because I want you to come to my virtual show on Friday night. But anyways,
nice.
So one of the things I do in the virtual show is I have you bring a deck of cards with you to the show. And you get to do 2 tricks yourself in your house with me. So I even turn you into a virtual magician.
Wow! No way.
It's just one of those things. I look. One of the things you have to do when you're doing a show is you have to be able to reach through and bring people in. So when you're structuring a show, I structure a show in so that people, when they're trying to pay attention, it gives them different ways to pay attention. One of the ways I structure the show is about 2/3 of the way through, bang, all of a sudden they get to do magic in their house, and that they get to do magic with cards that they never thought they'd be able to do. And it's fantastic. It brings me in a whole new way through that camera I was talking about right into your living room.
So, cool would it be safe to say that one of the tricks that I can learn is how not to just, when I'm flipping cards, not have to go all over the place? Would that be considered a trick?
No, that's considered clumsy.
Oh, my bad. Here I thought it was ahead of the game.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just being honest. That's what it is. Here, so let me give you a little taste of some magic, okay?
Awesome.
So I got to get a little closer to the camera. Again, these are the things that happen in a virtual show that you have to think about. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I have a child. I have Christopher. You know Christopher. He's actually 26. He's actually 26 now. He's married. Get this, I have a grandchild. I mean, I have a granddaughter. Can you believe that, man? It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, but what I'm going to do is show you Christopher's favorite trick with this dollar bill. Now, to show you Christopher's favorite trick, I have to show you my favorite. Oh, and by the way, before I do this, I want to assure everyone that when you see the tricks that I'm about to do, these tricks would look the same to you if you were 1 foot in front of my face, okay? So I'm going to
I can vouch for that. I can vouch for that.
So I'm going to show you Christopher's favorite trick. Now, to show you his favorite trick, I actually need to show you my favorite bill for any show that I do. So watch the $1 bill. I'll give it a twist and a blow. And when I do, I will change that bill into my favorite bill for any show that I do. And my favorite bill happens to be a $100 bill.
Dude, to this day, that still just blows my mind, man.
I gotta tell you that there's 2 problems with this trick. Okay, 2 problems inherent with the trick. The first problem with this trick is that greed wins out. And I think you know what that means. When I say greed wins out, that means when people see this trick like this, somebody always says, I want to keep the 100 that way. Which brings up the second problem with this trick. The second problem with this trick is that this is considered counterfeiting. So if I was to keep the $100 bill this way, I would not be able to do my show on Friday. The federal government would be on my doorstep ready to take me away. So this is what I've got to do now. To rectify this situation, I need to show you my 26-year-old son's least favorite trick. And his least favorite trick is when I take the $100 bill, give it a twist and a blow. And I change it back into that 1. Now that may be his least favorite trick, but at least I get to keep my freedom intact, and I'm able to do that magic show coming up in just a couple of days by turning that bill back into a 1. Yeah.
You know what,
I
man? I have to share the first time you did this trick in front of my son Mason. I think you remember we were over at the restaurant.
yes,
Dude,
I
his
do.
eyes, he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop talking about it. Like you blew his mind. You're still blowing my mind on this, dude. It's crazy.
See, one of my favorite things is that when a professional communicator such as yourself is speechless, that's when I know I'm doing my job right. Okay, now I have to tell you, there's another reason why I turned it back to the dollar bill. Okay, because when I do magic, I like to put a little skin in the game. Just let me tell. Can you see everything here? Just to make sure. Can
Yeah.
you see everything? Okay, good. So I like to put a little skin in the game. So here's my skin in the game. Carlos, I promise you that if this trick doesn't work, I am going to mail you this dollar bill. Yes, I know, generous, aren't I? All right, but
Yes, you are.
oh, thank you, most generous. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got now. You notice I've got a card here that's been out since I did the Christopher's favorite trick. Just so you know, it's still been here. I haven't done anything else with it. But what I'm going to do is I am going to start dealing cards on the table. Okay, just like this. And what I want you to do is whenever you like, just say the word stop.
Stop.
Okay, you want me to stop here?
Yep.
Okay, you don't want me to go on. You don't want me to here. Okay.
Stop right there.
So, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my skin in the game right there. We'll mark that spot because the next thing I want to do is show you the card that's been out since the entire beginning. Do you see that card?
I see. Is it five of hearts?
The five of hearts.
Yep.
Okay. Now, you could have gone on. You could have done anything you wanted to, but you stopped me here, correct?
Correct.
Yes? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you where you stopped me at. The five of hearts. Wait.
Oh,
Wait, no, wait. It gets stranger than that. It gets stranger than that. Can you go do 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 do? Can you do that?
I'm doing that in my head already, dude.
Yeah, but can you do it? Can you do it out
So,
loud?
dude,
Oh,
yeah.
wait. No, hold on. I'm not done. You have to promise me that once I show you the rest of this, at the end of this, you'll go do 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 do. Okay. All right. Cool. Because
Gotcha.
that we're not done. Remember, I told you I put some skin in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I put skin in the game. Well, let me show you why I put skin in the game. Wait, no, I'm not done yet. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Oh man.
Okay, because I want to show you something. You stopped me at the five of hearts, right?
Right.
If you had stopped me here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or here, or there, this trick would not have worked. If you stopped me here, or here, or here, or here, any place else in the deck, you would have gotten my skin in the game. But you stopped me at the only place in this deck where this actually worked. Talk about having some skin in the game. And now it's your turn, Carlos. Yes,
Dude,
exactly.
that is wild, man. I haven't seen that one either, so it's mind blowing. If you guys are watching, this is Stephen Woods, the real deal.
Thank you. So when you see this, this is what the virtual show is like. Virtual show that I'm going to be doing on Friday night at 5 p.m. is actually a fundraiser. There's a charity in St. Louis called Alleluia Baskets. What Alleluia Baskets does is they create nearly 4,000 Easter baskets for 4,000 underprivileged children in St. Louis every year.
Wow.
And so what I've done is I'm partnering with them to do this benefit for their charity. It takes them $10 a basket to make a $50 Easter basket. So the idea is that we help raise funds for them, so that not only will you have smiles like that were on Carlos's face, and you'll be amazed, and you'll have a fantastic time. You'll see professional magic that works through the camera. But not only that, you will help be responsible for bringing smiles to the children's faces in St. Louis this Easter. When I saw the smiles on their faces and pictures, and I talked to Karen Messler, who is the owner of that and runs it, I knew I wanted to be involved with what they were doing immediately. So the way that your audience can actually become a part of that, now it's $32 for about an hour and 15-minute show. The way you become part of that is you go to my website and you find Magic in a Basket. It's on the splash page as you open up, or you can go to www.allelujahbaskets.org. When you go to their splash page, there'll be a button right in the middle that says Magic in a Basket. That's the name of the show, Magic in a Basket. I know it's creative and original. Bleh.
That's cool.
So you press on that, and what it'll do is it'll take you to a registration page where you can pay. And then you also find out that when you come to the show, you have to bring two things. You have to bring a deck of cards, and that deck of cards is going to have 4 aces face up and 16 indifferent cards face down. And then also you'll have to have 4 more cards from that deck that you're willing to part with, because that's going to be the magic that you'll do during the show. So that's, again, just so you get the idea, it's go to allelujahbaskets.org, register on their page. The button is the first page on the splash page. Register, pay, and then get ready to come to a Zoom meeting. So it will be on Zoom. So what happens is once you register, you'll get the Zoom link and I should say it's $32 per camera. I had someone in one of the networking groups I'm in ask me, well, if I pay for that camera, can I take the Zoom link and give it out to all my friends? No, that's not the idea. I'm sorry. But you can bring 15 or 20 people if you want to, hook it up on your big screen and have the show on the big screen for 20 people. That's cool. But it's $32 per camera, per viewing device. And I would love to see everyone in your audience come. If you were entertained by what happened here today, if you were amazed, if you don't know what happened and you'd like to see more of something like this, www.allelujahbaskets.org. Sign up, come, be a part of something that's bigger than you. I always like to say this. So when you put that $32 down, you are going to make a difference in your entertainment life on Friday night. And you are going to make a difference in children's lives in St. Louis. Where else on a Friday night can you spend $32 and be assured that you're going to have fun and change someone's life for at least one day in another part of the country?
Well, and it actually brings me to, I'm glad that you're clarifying that per camera as well, too. So I'm going to put out a challenge out there, folks. It's a great cause, $32 for a family to watch on a camera, get to learn new tricks, get to watch this amazing magician, Stephen Wood, perform. It's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. We spend more on crap that we do during the week. But the point of it is, it's not so much to watch and get entertained by you, but it's actually for a really great cause. And so I'm really glad you're sharing that, which actually was going to lead me to my next question to talk about with you. And is, I've known you for a long time now, and I know that not only do you entertain folks, but you're also one of the very first people that's always willing to jump in the front line to give back and help in the community. So obviously this is one of the things that you've done. Maybe you can share other projects that you're involved with or that you've been involved with so folks get to know there's more to you than just magic.
Sure. Have you heard of the Facebook group Taps for Veterans?
No.
So on Veterans Day, a group was organized, a group of musicians, mostly cornet, trumpet, and bugle players, who all played taps and recorded it and then shared it on Facebook. If you can pull my Facebook up, you'll find out that I played taps for veterans on my tuba. Let me get to, so not only am I a professional magician, I'm also a classic trained tuba player. I've been for a long time. My oldest son and I played in the same in music groups, and I am a member of the Salvation Army, so I have that proclivity as well. one of the things that I'm planning on doing, and you're the first one to hear this. 3 weeks ago, I think it was, I walked into Stater Brothers. And no, it was a little farther than that. It was more near the pandemic. And I was getting food for the house, for my family. And I walked up to the person behind the counter. And I said to the person behind the counter, I'd like to ask you a question. Are people more kind or less kind during the pandemic? And immediately the guy who was ringing me up said, oh, they're less kind. I just want you to think about that for a second. The guy is just helping other people get food and take care of their family, and they're being less kind to him. So what I'm going to be doing is partnering with Shirley Bone of Print Connection, and I'm going to be making up some buttons. And the buttons are simply going to say, be more kind. And I am going to offer these buttons to anyone who wants them. I'll mail it to you. I'll deliver it to you. You have one thing you have to do to get them. Go in front of your grocery store. Take a picture in front of your grocery store with that button on. That's all you have to do. Because I tell you what, in the last 2.5 or 3 months, we needed to be more kind, not less kind. And with the things that are happening in this country, with what's going on with COVID, with what it looks like is going to happen in the next couple of months, I mean, you think about this for a second. Entertainment, and this may sound strange, but entertainment is never going to be the same. Not for a long time.
No, it's not.
When's the next time we're going to be able to go out to a movie? When's the next time we're going to be able to realistically escape you through entertainment? So think about the tension that's going to be running in our country, in our state, in our city, because we won't have that kind of a release. Well, let me tell you something, people. Be more kind. Be more kind. It's not a joke. Be more kind, because we are going to need that. It doesn't matter what your political proclivities are. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent. I don't care if you're voting for Kermit the Frog. Be more kind. I'll tell you one more thing. I've been watching political arguments on Facebook for a long time, and I've watched people on both sides of the aisle just eviscerate each other. How the heck are we going to ever find solutions if we can't be more kind? So if you would like to get a Be More Kind button, contact me. My email is on my website. You can text me. You can email me at www.stephenwood@magicandbeyond. www. Thoop. You can email me at stephenwood@magicandbeyond.com, and I will be happy to make that happen. But you have to take the button, make sure you're wearing it, and take a picture outside of your grocery store and post it on Facebook. And then when you post it on Facebook, you also have to tag me so we can get this going around. Okay? So be more kind.
Hey, I'm going to be one of the first ones to sign up for that, dude, and definitely get this ball rolling for sure. And I'm glad you brought this up too, because you're absolutely right, man. Something that I always talk about, and one of the hashtags I've been using forever, it's just be kind, be a blessing to others. We forget that. I mean, I've been teaching that to my son since he was really little, and there's no reason why. It doesn't matter skin color, it doesn't matter creed, race, whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all human beings. We should be there for one another, helping one another out every which way we can. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Thank you. And I could get on a pedestal and start preaching, so I got to be careful. But I tell you something, man. What's going on right now in our country is bringing out some very interesting attitudes in people. I have somebody on my Facebook. I actually described that story on Facebook, and somebody on my Facebook post said, I don't trust those people at Stater Brothers. They've got to earn my kindness. And
wow.
I just heard that, and I was actually saddened by it. I mean, I've got to earn your kindness. So in other words, if someone isn't kind to you, it's never going to happen. When do we break that cycle? When do we start actually looking at people and saying, hey, it's not about what they do, it's about who they are. And it's even more than that. It's not about who they are, it's about who we are as people. It's about how we treat other people. And it just blows me away that sometimes people don't realize the guy who's walking down the street, who has no place to stay, who is homeless. I understand what he is. I understand what he represents. But he is just as human as you and me. And it's important to be more kind to everyone, and to not judge them for who they are. I'm Christian, and I believe Jesus came to save me, and I try to follow what he teaches. Well, one of the things he teaches is that if we help our fellow man, then we are really helping God. And I apologize, now I am preaching, but but if you want any reason to help that person, realize that that person was created by a loving God and is as valuable to our God as I am. There's another phrase that I live my life by: there but by the grace of God go I. And if it wasn't for his grace in my life, I would be on the street just like they are. So I've learned to be grateful, to be content, to continue to work to do what I'm doing. But I'm telling you, folks, all that aside, if you don't want to hear anything about God, be more kind. We need it in this country. Be more kind. Text me, email me, get on my website and find my email. I'll send you a button. It won't cost you anything other than posting on Facebook with the button on in front of your grocery store.
Hey, and those are very powerful words, man. I hope that everyone is listening, because I think the next time we connect, I think that we ought to have maybe a panel of discussion with different folks in different areas of the industry to talk about, in those particular industries, how we can be more kind, how can we help one another, just, lift each other up, bottom line.
I agree. Can I be completely, I don't know, PR-ish for a second? The other thing y'all can do, and I don't know how much it's going to cost, but you see the T-shirt? If you'd like to get a T-shirt, contact me. We'll talk about it. Hey, not just be more kind, but advertise Stephen Wood. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, and really quick before we wrap it up, I remember you were doing workshops for kids too. Are you still doing that?
Yes, I am. I'm still teaching a magic school for kids 8 to 12. It's called Stephen Wood's Magic Academy. It's an 8-week. It's 3 8-week courses that each course teaches about 27 different magic tricks, but more importantly, it teaches the kids the 8 essential life traits, or the 8 traits of a true magician that are actually the 8 traits of highly successful people. So it's actually a life skills course, but it's disguised as a magic class for kids 8 to 12. Oh, and I will say this. If there are adults who want to learn how to do magic, or if there are adults who want to take up that as a hobby, I can teach you too. And all of this is on my website, and you can contact me to get more information about any of that. There's something, in my opinion, there's something fun about doing magic. As you can tell, I like it.
And we do too, man. So absolutely. Hey, so I want to say thank you for coming on the show, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you. It's always, like I said, mind-blowing to watch you perform, man. And like, we've said before, guys, this is Stephen Wood, not a regular, typical magician. You can see his website below. You can contact him with his phone number on there. And what I like to do now, man, which is a little unorthodox, but I'm going to have Stephen take us out with some little groove action with our intro song.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do this.
80%.
Hold on, here we go.
Here we go. Hey, Carlos, join me. Come on.
Oh man, no, you're gonna pay for me to go offline. But thank you, folks, for joining me today. This has been Stephen Wood. We look forward to connecting with you guys next time. Until then, this is Carlos Garcia with F.Y.I. Live.